And next is the requirements, which is not going to be so short and sweet. So this is the test workflow for the requirements, and the focus is going to be on render process, and these are the two things I'm going to talk about, the container and the profile. Now if you're going to do anything with a video, then MPEG-4 is the most prolific format on the web, and a good place to get some guidelines is YouTube. Now you are supposed to pick the container to be MPEG-4, that might be the obvious thing, but what is never so obvious is the fact that you should use the streaming format or streamable option within the MPEG-4 container. And here is a good quote: it does make things faster for you to upload and get good user experience on YouTube. Moving to the next topic, which is profiles, MPEG-4 is part of the H.264 standards, and you should pick high profile if you're going to use the internet and do HD. Now these are the standards, and the ones marked cross are the ones that you shouldn't be using, and it actually is quoted in the main profile that it is now redundant when it comes to HD since 2004, and we are in 2014, so you should expect, if you've got a video editor, that it should pick the high profile and not main profile. So here's an example. We've got a player and it's watching a video which is not using a stream format container, and you get this annoying buffer break. And this is because your player now is waiting for its buffers to be filled up from the server. And so you get this staggered playback, which is not very good user experience. Here we've got the same video, but this time it's a stream format container, and you get a more smoother playback, which is what you want. So this is the point of having stream format. So that is that requirement. Now this requirement, you may not know the subject. This is called HRD, or Hypothetical Reference Decoder. That is the technical term, but in layman's term, would you ever publish a document or a book without someone proofreading it first? The equivalent of proofreading a document in video terms is this HRD, and it ensures that the buffers do not overflow or underflow during the encoding process, so therefore checking that it's okay for playback. So here's an example where you could be a freelancer, you've done a project, you've handed over the video, and you've checked that the container is okay and the high profile is alright. Your customer complains that something's wrong. If you proofread it, you might have found that it's overflowing and underflowing. As this is a real case, this is what happened. Now if you want a happy customer, proofreading is very good, and that is why I have HRD as a requirement. Now we're going to move on to the editor workflow. The long and the short of it is this. Apart from the basic trim, what I want to be able to do is be able to do clip enhancements and clip special effects and things like this, picture in picture, within the package. And I want to be able to do custom motion, and a special requirement of mine, which is motion tracking. And a hidden requirement of any video editor is you must have fun using it. I'm now going to move on to platform efficiency. To explain why it's important to me is to look at these stats from YouTube. Now what I'm going to do is a little experiment here. Given these stats, it's not inconceivable to have 1 million people use the same video editor, all on YouTube, uploading at the same time. But the container from this video editor is not stream format. And so Google has to correct this, and it takes 1 minute. So it's 1 million minutes extra. That 1 million minutes extra of energy that Google had to consume, if you're an American, that is equivalent to 6 hours of continuous use. But the average YouTube movie is about 4 to 5 minutes. That translates to actually a 1 day continuous use for an individual. But if you're a European, 1 minute is actually 16 hours of continuous use, and a 4-minute YouTube movie would be almost 3 days worth of energy that a person could use for that 1 minute that YouTube or Google had to correct that error with the stream format container. And this could have been cured by the developer. And it's not exactly a difficult fix to do, because some of the developers that I did get in touch with, and I did point this out, they did fix it within 1 month. So that is really good credit to them. Anyway, that is me off my soapbox. Those are all my requirements. They're now going to be flashed in front of you as a final reminder. These are my requirements, and this is what I tested all the video editors to. They had to conform to these requirements.